let's first start with like how your folks came from Guyana here, because I think we've all heard the European immigrant story to death
Right.
for Ontario. So I'd love to hear a little bit of that.
Sure. My dad actually, by trade, is an electrician. And at the time, in the 1970s, actually late 60s, early 70s, there was a huge push for, within South America very specifically, and throughout the Caribbean, to bring electricians and trade people into Canada and North America, actually. So my dad and I always have this joke. Actually, all the kids, we always bug him. He had a choice between going to California to work within movie studios as an electrician,
Oh shit.
or go to Canada and work on the railroad. He chose the railroad. So the constant conversation is, did you not know where California was versus where Canada is and what the weather was like? But I digress.
Well, what
Yeah,
was what's his answer?
his answer is he understood what the railroad was, but what kind of impact he'd have within movies, he was like, I don't really know. So
Huh.
it had nothing to do with geography. It had more to do with how he felt comfortable doing what he was doing. So growing up in Guyana
All
as
right.
an electrician, he worked within an auto body shop. He understood how to take apart and put back together batteries and all those things that came along with that. Motorcycle enthusiast, was never allowed to ride one after he got married to my mom, and not in North America. So that was one of those things where he's like, I understand what I can do within the railroad versus what it would actually look like within the movie industry.
Ah, cool. And because my dad, why he came over was just because he had other relatives here, and we
Mm.
always make fun of him, like, dude, you could have went to Australia. Like, what's going on? It's freezing here. All right. And so what was there an impetus of why he came to Canada from Guyana? Like, was it like was political shit really going down at that time, or was there someone here? Like, how did that happen?
So it's a combination. Well, I can't say it was political. From what the stories and how we've all been explained, how he came is he has an aunt who was here,
Okay.
my great aunt, and that allowed him to actually be able to go through the citizenship process easier. He had a place to stay, roof over his head. Once he was here, everything was basically taken care of, and what he had to do was just basically find himself in employment within a certain amount of time, and that was the easiest part for him.
Interesting. I think my dad also came over with an aunt, and he stayed at her house for a while until the rest of his relatives a few years later were like, "You got to move out of her house now. You can't just freeload this whole time." And he was like, well, why? She does my laundry. She cooks for me. Where am I gonna go? I remember he told us the story like 3 years ago, and we're like, what a loser, man. You gotta get out of that house, mind you. I would have done the same thing.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
So his story is a little bit different in that his aunt's here. He's helping to pay for the pieces that are there, and just my dad as an individual is a very independent guy. So he
Okay.
was like, I think it was like 2 years or so that they were living, and then he was like, I'm out, and he just wanted to be able to make it on his own. Corresponding with my mom back in Guyana, went down, got married. They came up together in 1972. So he was here, I think, in 1970, married my mom in 72, and then they both came back up in 72.